Two things real quick. First thing, I'm making this space a bike studio. So this bench that I just made is gonna go against this wall. I mean, I made it, I just haven't finished it yet. So this bench that I have not yet finished, that I just started making a while ago, it's just gonna go right there. And then I've got some of this fancy old schmancy pegboard. This stuff came with the house. Basically the last owners of the home left it in the home, so now it's mine. Thinking two of these over here somewhere, you know, something like that. I've got 4 of them total. I plan on using at least one on that wall. That's gonna be used for all my camera gear, battery charging, things like that. Okay, before we go any further with that, too, you know what really grinds my gears? No, let me, you know what camera really grinds my gears? What I mean by that, for one, the footage usually doesn't look that great. And I know it's a GoPro Hero 7, and it's up to like GoPro Hero 15.5 or something like that mini. I mean, it's 4K, it's stabilized, that should be fine, right? I usually shoot low ISO, use ND filters when needed. I do all the things that I need to make this footage look good, and it just never really looks that great. It's because it's an action camera, and it doesn't have a big sensor. But that's not what really grinds my gears about this camera. What really gets them going
is really mad
is when all your footage is ruined because you're not looking through the screen while you're filming. An action camera, you're supposed to mount it on something and then forget about it. That's what it does. And that's probably the problem. Probably the problem. Quick story time to explain why my gears are being grounded. Why my gears are being grounded. All right, story goes like this. Hey, did I tell you about that time I went to Beach Mountain?
No.
So here we are, first time Beach Mountain, blah, blah, blah. I told Brian how it being my first time to Beach Mountain and me being a very timid, cautious rider, it was quite a few laps before I felt comfortable enough to start letting off the brakes. And it was a pretty solid day. We did about 5 or 6 laps and I felt like towards the end I was riding pretty hard. You see, it wasn't until I got back to my truck that I noticed the mud on the GoPro. And I'm not talking like the side of the lens or part of the lens, I'm talking dead center of the lens. And when reviewing the footage after I got home, I realized pretty much all my footage was toast. Completely useless. And it's all because I had the GoPro mounted on me. I never took it off to look at it. It was on a chesty, I believe. I could have prevented this by making sure that every time I got on the lift, I looked down at it to make sure it was clean. I'm just not good at things like that. I want a good, solid, creative solution to mud on my GoPro lens. Is there like some sort of mud repellent spray that I can put on there? That would be dope. Also, what if I had like little peel off things? Like little tearaways, you know? Like motocross goggles, but like down here. Just ride on. Then I guess you would start to see all those little things on mountain bike trails. That would suck. All right, enough talk about this stupid thing. Finished putting up my pegboard. In case you haven't noticed yet, I added the acoustic treatment to this room, and I still haven't finished my table. The top's not even attached. I just have it sitting on there, attached via gravity.
Let's fix that.
All right, one thing that I've learned in my years is you can't always trust gravity. So now the top is on securely. No special thanks to gravity. All the special thanks to me. About this stupid thing again. I did some research and it looks like there are some companies that make some screen protectors that are made of glass. They are called, and I'm not joking, hydrophobic glass. So it's glass that is afraid of water. But these are, you know, GoPro specific. So it depends on which model you have. Also, they're all sold out. Plus they're pretty expensive and you can only buy them in 3-packs and things like that. So I was thinking there might be a much better solution. I found something, and most of you probably will go ahead and tell me that this is a bad idea. So it's Rain-X, and it's not the 2-in-1 wash stuff and repellent, it's just the water repellent. Maybe there will not be any kind of clarity issue. That's the only concern I have is, will it kill the clarity? I mean, it is the 50th anniversary. What we'll do is hope that a good solid generous coat of this stuff will fix the problem. So first thing we'll do is we'll take some isopropylene alcohol and just go ahead and clean off the GoPro. There is one concern that I have with this. Right here on the lens, there is a scratch or scuff on the lens, and I'm wondering if that is going to help things stick to it. Maybe it's just gunk. No, it's a scuff. So hopefully that's not too rough of a surface on that spot to cause things to stick. Let's just give it a good coat. Put this in here. Maybe we can get a sponsor. All right, and then I know you're supposed to spray it on, but let's just do that. And we'll let it sit for a second, and then we'll wipe it off. No, let's spray it. Yep. Haha, we'll let that sit there. This may be the next best thing. Rain-X is applied. I don't see a difference. Everything seems to be good on this end. It doesn't seem to be hazy looking at all. I think it looks pretty good. I want to see what the water looks like on it. So we're going to film this, filming that, filming this, that, filming this, squirting that. Well, the water's sitting on the lens. I guess because the lens, here, let's do this. Ooh, it rolls off. I mean, it's rolling off there pretty well, and I feel if I was moving down the trail, I don't know, there's still water droplets on the screen. I mean, it looks terrible. Come on, maybe more coats of Rain-X. The Rain-X isn't sticking. This isn't working as well as I thought it was going to. Maybe the hydrophobic glass is a better option. That doesn't mean this isn't going to get fully tested, because now there's only one thing left to do. And that's come out to one of the muddiest trails that I know and see if I can get mud to splash up on this lens and see if it sticks or not. So without further ado, I haven't looked at the GoPro yet, so I don't know exactly what it looks like. But as always, that place is super fun. So let me just preface this conclusion by telling you we did have a problem with the GoPro. You see, the battery just kept dying, and I think it's because the trail is haunted. So my conclusion on the Rain-X is yes and no, and necessary, but not perfect. Meaning, water will not stay on the screen and leave spots. So eventually it rolls off. Not immediately, but quicker than without Rain-X, and never a spot. Wet mud would fall off. Really, like sticky mud, no, it stayed, as we can see at the end of the video. Definitely necessary if you ride in any kind of wet conditions. Now, as far as the hydrophobic glass, I do want to get my hands on some of that stuff and give it a try. Overall, I give this Rain-X a solid. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching the video. If you made it this far and you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do that so that way you don't miss out what this room's gonna end up looking like. Leave me a comment, say something stupid, maybe I'll respond, and I will see you in the next one.